We're in front of a mine that has an NPV at current prices of $200 million US, and it's increasing.
Joining us for a conversation is Arturo Bonillas, the CEO of Magna Gold. Mr. Bonillas, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you on the program to share the opportunity before us in Magna Gold. Before we delve into company specifics, Mr. Bonillas, please introduce us to Magna Gold and the opportunity the company presents to shareholders.
Well, Magna Gold is the newest gold producer in Mexico. The company was created 3 years ago, and we've now become a gold producer, an explorer and developer. We are in northern Mexico, and we have a fantastic team.
You know, in 3 years, that just shows, it just demonstrates, I should say, really the business and geological acumen of your entire team. Let's go on site and find out more. Sir, take us to Sonora, Mexico, and get us acquainted with your property bank, beginning with the San Francisco Gold Mine.
The San Francisco mine is a gold producing mine that Magna Gold acquired last year, a year ago. And we've just gone through the milestone of becoming and putting the company back again into full-scale production. The mine is located in central Sonora. And along with the mine, we do have other exploration targets in the vicinity. We have gold and silver properties, some of them quite advanced, that we are going to begin exploring very, very soon.
How was your team able to acquire the San Francisco Gold Mine?
Well, it was interesting. The mine is a geological deposit that was very well known by our team. When we acquired it, the company that had it was trying to sell it. The company was divesting its properties. And we were, I guess, the right ones to acquire it, because we didn't know we had the team to move it forward.
Let's find out more about the grade and tonnage. Please walk us through the mineral reserves and resources on the San Francisco Gold Mine.
Of course, we bought, according to a 43-101 report that we commissioned last year, we acquired 1.43 million ounces of gold in the resource category, measured and indicated. And those resources were calculated at $1,500 gold. And out of that, we produced a mine plan that extracts 750,000 ounces of gold with a strip ratio of 2.5. And that is important to say that was calculated at $1,350 gold for its guideline.
Now, discussing those economics, how do those numbers change with today's gold price?
Well, they should look different. Of course, we can run them at $1,800 gold, but for the moment, we are maintaining the projections at the same prices, being conservative. And another reason is because we are adding ounces as we go with additional drilling. So the numbers should look much better when we finalize both our drilling and see how the price situation looks for the next 3 years. If it's a higher price, we'll have a higher NPV.
The San Francisco mine is now in full-scale production. Tell us more about the economics, sir.
Yes, we took over the mine in May of last year. And as of June 1st of this year, this month, we're back at full-scale production. The mine is now generating sufficient ore for a process facility that is processing between 18,000 and 20,000 tons of ore per day, which is the rated capacity. And we built new leach pads, and so we're back to normal. The company is now beginning June 1 generating cash, which is quite fantastic.
Please walk us through the economics of the PFS and how the ramp-up will impact the all-in sustaining costs over the life of the mine.
Well, the ramp-up, I'll give you a couple of numbers here. The ramp-up, during that period, we had a strip ratio of 8 to 1. and the life of mine strip ratio is 2.5 to 1. So just imagine what we had to remove the first year to get us where we are at now. The economics change dramatically. And generally, the first year is generally known as trying to get to commercial production. We called it full scale, trying to get back to full scale production. And generally, all of that is capitalized. So the mine looks very, very good in terms of a rate of return and the money we put in, because we made sure that we didn't over dilute the company by getting there. So we are in front of a mine that has an NPV at current prices of $200 million US, and it's increasing.
Let's do a comparison among your peers. What is the value proposition in leverage to gold that shareholders have in Magna Gold?
Well, I'll give you some comparison. As I said, currently the NPV of the mine production plan is say $200 million US at current prices. We are trading at our market cap today is about 90 million Canadian, which is it's way underrated just on NPV values. So when we get to ensure that we've completed a full quarter of full production, we are here expecting an important re-rating on our stock price. And the same with gold. We use generally for long-term projections $1,760 gold. But with the leverage to gold, it's very important here. Look, we are our NAV, our price or NAV is 0.34, so we're underrated.
You know, speaking of that undervaluation, I have a Rolodex of names, and they are all under the same opinion that Magna Gold's share price and market cap, I should say, is completely undervalued, and that's exactly why we're honored to have you here on the program today. Does the San Francisco gold mine have room for expansion?
Oh, completely, plenty, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to acquire the mine. It was not because of what it had already, which we certified, but the potential to grow and important potential to grow. We were there many years ago as Timmins Gold, and we were able to drill some of these areas, the new areas, and I can talk about fundamental growth in resources in the next few years, a couple of years. We have not even touched the surface on this property.
Sounds exciting. Magna Gold was busy in 2020 with the acquisition of additional projects that balance out the property bank with some compelling gold and silver projects that will serve as catalysts for shareholders moving forward. Can you introduce us to the remaining property bank and the highlights of each, respectively, beginning with the Mercedes?
Yes, Mercedes was our first acquisition. That's how we began as a company. It's a very nice property, very interesting. We drilled it off. We put a few holes at the beginning because it was according to our budget, and all of our holes hit it. And so we're now talking about putting together a start. You can say a starter leach plant there, or a starter pit, which we are assessing. But also Mercedes is a system within the Sierra Madre where you have we found multiple underground mine works centuries ago old, and we obtained extremely high grades of copper, very, very high grades of silver on those other areas, and gold. So we barely again touched the surface on the Mercedes property. So that's what made Magna, and that is as I said, that was our initial transaction. Then we bought the San Francisco mine, which has within the package of properties that we acquired, more than 40,000 hectares all together in the state. We have 6 targets within it, and outside of the area in Chihuahua, we acquired the Margarita Silver Project, and we're very excited about it. That's a high-grade silver mine. So we have many areas to grow, and we are very disciplined in our approach. So we've prioritized, and we will start drilling first the properties that will bring more value to the company in the shortest period of time. And that is Margarita to begin with, where we expect to complete a PEA in Q1 of next year. That I think would be an underground, very high grade silver mine located in a very interesting area in Chihuahua. And then we have our other priorities. That's outside of the San Francisco pit. The other priority is a potential satellite pit 4 kilometers north of the San Francisco pit. And so we have all of these catalysts that we'll start bringing forward. The San Francisco mine itself, as I said, it has a tremendous potential. We have drill plans. And so our approach is systematic. We are following maximization of MPV for the company, which that guides us, and we keep looking at things. We've been looking at potential M&A because we have the team. We have the team to do something, and I believe that M&A is important, very important for our Magna Gold.
And you've already demonstrated great use of optionality here with the San Francisco mine, and it looks like the success is going to continue. Before we leave the property bank, multi-layered question: what is the next unanswered question for Magna Gold, and when can we expect a response, and what will determine success?
Yes, we have a very clear idea what follows. First of all, increase in resources and reserves at the San Francisco pit and surrounding areas. We have another pit, La Chicharra. And you'll have a response by the end of the year when we add more ounces. Actually, we will have a response sooner than that because we have already but we have already increased mineable reserves on 2021 and 2022 that are not published yet. So that's the other is the Margarita Silver Project. We expect to give you a good response in the form of a PEA, a preliminary economic analysis, early next year, which we believe we would have a very nice surprise. And then we have the other pipeline of projects within our package land. The next one is a potential satellite pit, open pit deposit not far from the mine. Then we have a gold property called San Judas. It's an amazing property, and that we should be expecting to give you results by Q1, Q2 next year. And our silver portfolio, we have a silver mine. We have a silver property called La Pima, which we drilled last year. So we're trying to figure out how to put together all of this very interesting land package and targets that we have. And we hope to give you a response soon, as soon as possible.
Sounds like a busy 2021. And again, it underscores the value proposition before us here in Magna Gold. Let's discuss some important topics germane to the projects. Are your projects 100% owned?
Oh, yes. The principal projects are ours. The San Francisco mine and all its surrounding targets are ours. The Margarita silver mine is completely ours. The other properties that we have are optioned, but we're optioned at very, very good terms for the company. So we will eventually exercise the option if the properties go well. But those are more early stage exploration. And as I said, we have 4 to 5 year option agreements, which give us time to explore.
We're going to get into some numbers later in this discussion, but from a capital expenditure standpoint, how is infrastructure on your projects?
It's amazing. Well, you see the San Francisco mine is just next to the 4-lane highway, as well as the 40,000 hectares there. We're connected the United States in it's an hour and a half drive to the north. It's a 2-hour drive from where I am now, giving this interview, which is home for me. The Mercedes property, amazing. It's about 500 meters from the highway, also next to a power line, in a good area in the Sierra Madre mineralized gold belt. We have good neighbors there. We have Minera Alamos, Agnico, Alamos Gold, and others. And the Margarita Silver Project is also next to a mine called Los Gatos Mining Inc. Used to be called Sunshine Silver Mines. So you can see the power lines going from the property. So we feel very fortunate to be so close to infrastructure in all our properties.
Speaking of neighbors, what is your relationship with the indigenous people?
Oh, great. We don't call them indigenous here, we call them our neighbors, the local townships, and we have an amazing relationship with the people from the San Francisco mine. We're next to a town, and we've been neighbors for many years, and we take good care of. We're very active on ESG with the community, and they really, I think they really like us. And the other properties are, they're not, they don't have important cities or towns nearby. So we make sure that we deal with the surface owners, the surface property owners, in a good manner, which we haven't had any problems till yet. And we bring, a mine like Margarita, will bring a lot of employment in the area. So I feel very, very comfortable with our relationships with the local communities.
Magna Gold is accelerating at an exceptional pace from exploration to production. What are the company's goals and strategy that the company will use to accomplish its stated goals for 2023?
Well, when we founded the company, we said that we were going to be an intermediate precious metals producer. And I actually stated that by 2023, we should be producing 200,000 ounces of gold equivalent ounces per year. And that same year, we should have 5 million ounces of gold resources or gold equivalent resources in the ground. So we are 1/3 of the way there. And when we finish this year, we should be more than 50% of the way to those targets. And we are an agile company. We do things disciplined, fast, and we have the contacts, the ability to do it. So we're on our way there. We're on our way.
We've discussed the good. Let's address the bad. What can go wrong, and what are your action plans to mitigate that wrong?
Well, that's a question that I always get asked, and I always respond, with some specific problem. But really, after we did it, the San Francisco mine, the way we turned that around, there's a feeling that the team has sort of invincible. So nothing really, I sleep well at night. I know that, and everybody knows that mining is not an easy industry, but I feel good because we have a very resourceful team, and that is a guarantee that anything that happens, we'll solve it. Look, the price of gold, if our cash costs at the mine, the San Francisco mine, we have $1,050 per ounce projected over the next 7 years. But we are working on making Magna a sub $800 gold producer with all its properties, with the silver properties added, the expansion of the San Francisco pit, the other areas. And we can do that because of economies of scale. I didn't mention that we actually opened up an underground mine at the San Francisco pit on one of the walls. and that's giving us gold. So all of those activities will help us to be a sub $800 per ounce gold. So that would be the only thing if gold prices really drop, but I don't think we see that in the near term.
Switching gears, let's discuss the people responsible for increasing shareholder value. Mr. Bonillas, please introduce us to your board of directors and management team, and what skill sets do they bring to Magna Gold?
Of course, we have six board members on our board of directors. I'll start with Parviz Farsanchi. Parviz is an amazing engineer, a PhD in mining engineering. Parviz was the COO of Inco Valley, in charge of all its operations. He also has experience in Mexico. He was the CEO of Scorpio Mining, and very seasoned. He's a real help. We have Laura Diaz. Laura is the former director of mines of Mexico. I've known her for years. And Laura is very well connected, and besides knowing the law, the mining law and its regulations, and so it's a fantastic help. Alex Akumis, Alex was our VP Corporate Development years ago at Pima and Gold. He's right now, he's very seasoned in that area, corporate development, investor relations. He's a great counsel for me personally. He's been a great. And then we have Colin Sutherland. He was president of McEwen Mining. Before that, I met him years ago, and then he joined the Pima and Gold as our CFO. Very seasoned, and we have he's our CFO and director, so we need to find another independent director. And then on the board is also Miguel Bonilla. Miguel, I met Miguel about 14 years ago. He came to work with the group and the team, and he's evolved to a point where he is fundamental to the company, and he deals with everything else besides production, but everything else, permitting, taxes, treasury, union. And Miguel Angel Soto, our VP Exploration. Miguel and I have been working together for probably more than 30 years in different companies. And Miguel is also very seasoned. He's well known in the country, and he's really an important asset to Magna Gold, and it's part of the team for years.
I see there's a prominent name that you omitted there. Who is Arturo Bonillas, and what makes him qualified for the task at hand?
Well, thank you. I was born in a mining town called Cananea, and at the time that mine was the largest mine in Mexico. It's a copper mine. It was owned by Anaconda Mining, which is no longer there. Then, so I went to school at the University of Arizona. I'm an industrial engineer. So as soon as I got out of school, I began working at that mine. I was in charge of the software development for cash flow development. I was a programmer, Fortran programmer. And then I got involved in at the time, the software was being developed for optimization of pit designs. And so I started getting involved in all the areas of mining. I ended up being the head of purchasing for the company. Then I moved on to as vice president of exploration and new projects of a company that was a joint venture between Frisco, which is Carlos Slim, and Placer Dome. We developed the Mulatos project from basically 0 to 1 million ounces. Mulatos is now what's called Alamos Gold. We developed other mines. San Francisco, the San Felipe mine in northern Baja. It also became a producer. And then in 1993, I went on my own, and I've been a promoter, operator, and explorer since then. And the latest was Timmins Gold and Silvermex Resources before Magna Gold, which and I am a Mexican citizen, and I love what I do.
Well said. How about boots on the ground? Who do you have on your technical team, sir?
Well, it's me. I live here, but on our technical team, we have our mine operators. We have our Raúl Elizalde. He's a young man that also we hired when we built the mine for the first time. He's now the director of production of the San Francisco mine. He's the one basically responsible to turn things around in the field. And we have, well, I mentioned Miguel Soto on exploration. And so those are fundamentally our guys on the ground. As I said, I live here. And we've just began to put together a very nice team in Canada. We were slow in putting together the team because we were a capital pool corporation initially. Now we have a full board with all of its committees. We don't have an office yet. Everybody works from home. But we have, besides our CFO, we have a VP of Finance in Canada, Gregory Barbier. And we also have now, he just joined us, our VP Corporate Development. His name is Amandeep Singh. And he just joined us. He's actually at the mine last week. And I don't want to forget Leslie Kapusianik, our in-house lawyer, and more of that corporate matters. So I hope I didn't forget anyone. But they're the main team.
Well, I have to applaud you. Just in 3 years, on all the commercial success and how you've rewarded your shareholders, it's truly remarkable. It's just not common to see the success that you've had. I know you're being very modest, but I have to pat you on the back, sir. It's a big feather in your cap, and you're doing a phenomenal job as a CEO. Let's get into some numbers. Magna Gold released these Q1 results. Can you walk us through some of those numbers?
Yes, well, the Q1 results, we were still in ramp up, so they're not quite representative. I have them here, but we were. I'll give you some trends. Q1 we were producing about 90 ounces per day, and gradually increasing them, 90 to 100. As of June, we are going to average 180 ounces per day. July will be over 200 ounces per day. So the numbers that you see in Q1, they show a loss. They show a cash cost of $1,800. But if you deduct the strip ratio, which was 8-to-1, and you redo the numbers and bring them down to 2.5, which is life of mine, that cost is exactly $1,050 per ounce. So our focus now is to increase our free cash. We have payables that we have to cover, important payables, big payables that were negotiated with the main contractors who have been great to us. So the rest of the year will be to reduce payables and generate more cash and get to the parameters that we have on our mine plan, which is the one that is published. 70,000 ounces per year on average, which I know will be more, and $1,100 per ounce of cash costs, and $1,250 all in. So that's what I can say of the Q1 results. We're good.
Sir, please provide us the capital structure for Magna Gold.
Sure. We have. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention our amazing shareholders. They've been our institutional shareholders have been since day one with us, and we have 85 million shares outstanding, and 95 million shares fully diluted, and we have about 42% institutional, which includes Mr. Eric Sprott, Delbert, it includes US Global, includes Medalist Capital, and I'd like to give a special mention to Medalist Capital, who are the ones who put Magna Gold together for our team. And then we have two important shareholders. I call them strategic shareholders. One of them is Argonaut Gold, and they hold about let me check, about 13-14% of the company. They basically inherited the shares that we paid for the mine. We paid about close to 10 million shares for the mine acquisition. We paid them to Alio Gold. Then Argonaut Gold acquired Alio. They're good shareholders. They're always calling. They're always checking on how can they help. They're very supportive. And then we have another group called Peal de Mexico. Peal de Mexico are the mining contractors, and they actually helped us a lot. They were fundamental for us to acquire the mine, and they are long-term players. And when you have a mining contractor as part of your main shareholders, you get many things guaranteed. You guarantee that you'll not have strikes, or that they will do their best to negotiate. At times we have to renegotiate the price with them to adapt to different circumstances. So they're fantastic. Peal de Mexico also a fantastic group. And then the management is about 8%, 8 to 10%, mostly options that we've given out. And plus my position, I did write an important check when we created the company, and the rest is out there. It's 14%. I think 18% is really the float.
How much cash and cash equivalents do you have?
Well, by the end of this month, we should have between $12 and $13 million US in the bank, and it'll remain about there for the next 2-3 months, because we'll be reducing the payables, and then it will start increasing.
How much debt do you have?
We don't have any debt. We have we just announced a convertible debenture for $8 million US. That will be our debt, which is a debenture, 2 years, strike price of $125, with the Delbrook, who are very good to the company. They've been there as C shareholders. And then we have forward sales that we with Oramet, but we finished paying them in December, so I don't consider that a debt per se, because we paid with gold. And that's about it. We have an NSR. Actually, the accounts payable are the ones who are the largest. That we'll be taking care of them over the next 4 months.
Sir, what is your burn rate?
Well, you mean G&A?
Oh, yes, sir. Just how much expenditures go towards exploration?
Oh, okay. Yeah, the exploration, we have a budget of $8 million that we're just raising, that we're going to spend over probably the next 2 years. As I said, we will prioritize, and we will keep increasing. And our G&A in Mexico, which is basically where most of the people are, is about $200,000 a month. In Canada, another $150,000. So I think we're in a very good burn rate position compared. It may increase. I think it will increase as we grow the company.
Are there any redundant assets on the books that we should know about?
No, I don't think of anyone.
All right, sir. Last question for you here. Is management charging any consultant fees for any services?
No. No, we are all salaried. Everyone in management is an employee.
In closing, sir, what keeps you up at night that we don't know about?
uh, the price of gold, maybe, not now, but really not much. As I said, things kept me up at night last year because we were turning around this mine that was in big trouble. So I feel more confident now. We are there. We reached the promised land, as I said. We're where the gold is, a sustainable supply of ore for production, and we have good properties to explore, and we want to diversify. So our goals are clear, and we have the right team.
Last question. What did I forget to ask?
Well, maybe even though you asked about it at the beginning and it was brief, but Magna Gold, who are we? What defines us? And I think that we have a culture of people that are agile. We move fast, and that are resourcefulness, passionate about coming up with solutions. We are experienced operators and developers in Mexico, even builders, and that's something that I'd like to show to the public. That's what we are, and we're very passionate what we're doing.
Mr. Bonillas, for someone listening that wants to get more information on Magna Gold, please share the website address.
Yes, it's www.magnagoldcorp.com.
Sir, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Wishing you and Magna Gold the absolute best, sir.
You're very kind. Thank you very, very much.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.